Collective, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is our weekly reading where we will look at your energy for the next week via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. I hope that things are going well for you. We're in Aquarius season. Some of the astrology, the tension that we've been dealing with is starting to lessen, and we are finding new options, new opportunities, new ways forward. This week is going to bring up some tension and challenges. However, unfortunately, we get like a little bit of a break and then right back into it. We have a full moon in Leo, and it is tensely aspected. It's not the worst. It's not the worst we've seen per se, but it is really gritting against our self-worth, our value, the changes or places where we're trying to bring in new options, new opportunities that just aren't really working out to our benefit or perceived to be that way. It's challenging us, it's challenging us to kind of look at things from a different vantage point and also deal with some of the tension and stressors, i.e. people, situations that have not been making things easy for us, right? So keep in mind that there is always an amplification of the energy anytime we're in a full moon energy. You can probably already feel some of this as we're moving into the week. But this is also why I like to start off these readings with an energy cleansing. It just helps set the tone, set the vibe for the reading. It also gives us an opportunity to cleanse out some of that limitation that we might be coming into. It's also a really good time to set your own intention as well, especially if you've come into this reading with something on your heart, on your mind, that you would love Spirit to deliver messages around. Definitely give that over to Spirit. Be open to receive. It's a great way to personalize these collective readings. I also do personal readings. If you want me to look at what's going on in your situation, I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. I also do energy healing and Ayurvedic consultations. So if you're looking for more of that realignment with your mind, body, soul, so that you are seeing things clearly, so you are making choices that empower yourself, empower the life that you want to live, definitely hit me up. If you resonate, vibe with my energy, I would love to support in whatever way possible. All that info to get in contact with me is in the description box below. All right, with that in mind, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so that we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama love. It was a messy one today. There might be a lot that you feel like you're kind of cleaning up in life. That's definitely been one of the themes in the collective lately, is past people, situations, karmas that haven't really been completely closed out are resurfacing. Things are coming to head to kind of help us bring an end to certain things, certain situations that really aren't in alignment with what we want anymore. However, we have to kind of be able to sift between, like, what is our ego? What is that place that we're just trying to kind of skeet out of the quote unquote lesson? And instead of just facing the truth is what I'm seeing, especially with this overarching energy of unrequited love. So I am using a Romeo and Juliette deck because we are also going to be having Valentine's Day this week. Whoop whoop to love. And it is putting a huge emphasis on partnerships in focus. Again, like I said, places where things need to change, adjustments need to be made, and either people or situations are being too stubborn. They don't want to be flexible. Maybe you're feeling a little inflexible with what you see, what you sense, what you feel, because there are things around you that are not, again, just not for your highest and best. They're bringing things down, bringing you down in a way that you see this very clearly, 100% with this determination energy. And it's bringing stuff to the surface. Like I said, we can't really escape how the karmas are playing out. Some of this stuff has taken a long time to come to head, and it's been a little bit of a twiddling of the thumbs. Maybe a little bit annoying to some level, right? Because we've had to be patient, and patience is still required of us. Mars is going to be in retrograde until the end of the month, and there is like a lot of contemplation that needs to be done. Walking into the beginning of the week, you do feel strong and steady because there has been kind of this increase in good energy, good vibes. Jupiter was positively aspected in the new moon. It also went direct, and it's in Gemini. So it's bringing us different types of opportunities, different types of abundance, or abundance in different ways is what I should say. And I feel like this is kind of adding to this sense of empowerment that you're feeling within yourself to recognize the holes in relationships, in people, in situations that, aren't really, again, in alignment with you. I know I kept him a little bit redundant around that, but I'm saying this because there is a little bit of resistance to change, especially with Uranus in Taurus. Taurus can be a little bit of a stubborn energy, i.e. we get too comfortable in how things are. And so we end up, either turning a blind eye to things, sweeping it under the rug, or, we just kind of don't really want to deal with it. And so part of the name of the game right now, as I said, is to be open to change. But it's a little bit hard to see. There's things that are being revealed to us through this process, right? This process that feels like you have to put forth a lot of determination. There's been some rejection is what I'm seeing. Rejection from people, from situations that maybe you tried to establish connection, community with. But it changed. It changed. I feel like something, either you were at a social event or something happened where it really has been bringing a lot of clarity to this situation, to the partnerships, the relationships around you that, let's look at this a little bit more. I see you fighting for your happiness this week. I see you making a lot of choices that might put a lot of extra stress and burden on you, but it's something you feel is necessary, right? It's something you feel is necessary, and you feel good about this. You do feel pretty strong about your convictions and about where they're leading you to. Again, some of that uncomfortability within the change is where you're seeing some of the resistance, wanting to believe or hope in the best in these people, in these situations where you want partnership, or there is some level of connection, partnership being offered, but not something about this, something about someone wanting to wield, control, use their power. Someone wanting to, and I think it's in a way that feels a little bit underhanded. We've seen this a lot coming to the surface, right? Over the past little bit, where people, situations are going to make some decisions that, well, it's not fun for you, but it actually works to your benefit in the end. I feel like some of the stuff that you have to choose, some of the choices that you have to make, or that you feel like you have to make, feel a little bit heavy. They feel overwhelming. You're kind of at a point where like you're over and done with this, is what I'm seeing. Yeah, because someone just like has maybe, well, I don't even know. It's just not, it's not fitting for some reason. And you have had to put yourself in a position to be very specific about what you choose, about who you choose, about how you go about it. Because it does look like this Prince of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy, doesn't have to be those signs, but someone who's, you know, very good with their words at convincing you of something, but you have to keep pressing forward. I almost feel like this is in a way where like they want you to put your defenses down, but you know better with the Queen of Swords as your energy. Like, I feel like you're seeing things very, very, diplomatically. There's a lot of air element in the astrology this week, which is awesome because it's really helping us use our intellect and our wisdom, especially around those places, like I was saying, where it's hard to trust our intuition. We're not getting a lot of validation right off the bat, right? So there's just some things that are happening that are making us second guess ourselves, how you're showing up, how you're operating in life. Is this really working, or am I on a fool's errand, a fool's mission, so to speak? But I think a lot of this is surrounding the full moon, right? Because it does kind of amplify, it makes everything seem bigger than what it actually is. And I feel like you're kind of taking a step back, sitting on the sidelines a little bit, maybe allowing this person's situation to come to you to prove their point. Some excuses, but Spirit's saying to keep pushing forward, right? Like, I feel like as you do, you uncover and you unfold so much more information. And again, it's forcing you to approach it in a different way. But this different way is getting you the answers and the results that you need. Because someone isn't really thinking about you or your feelings. They're not being empathetic to the situation, to the connection, to the dynamic. And I feel like you know this. I feel like some information, you're kind of just like waiting for that thing. You know, you're waiting for that thing to come out to finally say, that's what it was, right? That's exactly what I was picking up. That's exactly what I was sensing. But it's this value, which is so in the astrology midweek of like, you got to do the work to get there, right? There is a promise that it will pay off, you know, and something is taking things a little bit too personally. We have High Priestess, 5 of Coins, and 3 of Cups. So someone just feels like really left out. They feel like you're not paying attention to them. And maybe it is making them operate out of this bad behavior, because something between you and another person, another situation, it feels like it's very cyclical. Like it's the same story over and over and over again. But I feel like you've believed a different story up until this point, and now you're trying to like figure out what the reality, what the truth is. And as much as, like I said, the things we got to be careful about is not expecting this immediate result, not relying on instant gratification, because a lot of what we're feeling midweek is like the frustration around where things are taking their time, where people are just not complying, where things are just like not working in our favor. It's a lot of illusion. It's a lot of illusion because, again, I love how this says, no more indecisiveness, being firm, having courage and perseverance. That's what this is all about midweek. Because as the end of the week, it's like, I feel like full moon, it's like energy's intense, things are happening, etc. And then it kind of feels like it goes silent. We're even seeing that in how the astrology plays out. We don't have a lot of tension, or we don't have much, I should say, aspecting. There's not a lot aspecting, sorry, for the next couple days, actually the next week or so. Yeah, like stuff's still happening. It's not saying nothing's going to happen, but it just feels quiet. It feels peaceful. And I feel, even though this betrayal is in your energy, it feels like you know this, okay? Something, you've had a change of heart around something and it just doesn't vibe with you anymore. It doesn't vibe with you anymore. And you've been feeling this for quite some time. But again, it was just hard to see it clearly because whatever this person was saying to you, it was enough to pull you back in or to keep you around. You're seeing how someone manipulated the situation, right, for their own gain. And I think why I'm saying this, not to be a broken record, is it's important that you see this. This is actually bringing you some type of freedom this week. Freedom from the questions, freedom from the wondering, freedom from like, why is this person, why is this situation doing things, what they're doing? It doesn't align with like what they're saying. And as much as like, I do see on some level, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you're a little bit on the fence, like, and I think some more information has to come to you around this to give you that clarity. Like places where you're feeling exhausted, worn out, it's because it's taken a long time to get here. And I feel like Spirit needs you to believe in yourself. Spirit needs you to believe in yourself, what you sense, what you feel. Because there is a restructuring that is happening. There is a restructuring that is happening. There's a rebalancing of the playing field. And I don't feel like, I feel like this, yeah, they're not going to be on the same page as you, is what it looks like. Because when offers are presented, when maybe you're trying to be like, hey, let's talk about this, let's figure out a way where it makes us both work, etc., they don't have the same interest in mind. And you have to just be very decisive, like very, no emotions, no feelings, detach from those things, and then like rationalize your way through it is the end of the week energy. Because even though the astrology quiets down, I feel like there's a lot going on in your mind. I feel like some of the stuff that does come out, as much as it is like a breath of relief at the same time, it is also grief. The sun is tensely aspected to Uranus, so it's just kind of like places where you're like, I didn't even think it was that way. And it's like, oh, this is what it is. This is what I kind of invested into, and this is the return that I got. Yep. So cutting things out, weeding things out, cutting things off, stopping the patterns, being strong, courageous enough to be able to look at those harder spaces. But it does, like, that's the thing. I think that's the silver lining. It brings freedom. Like I said, our intuition might be a little bit cloudy this week, but and so we have to decipher between fantasy and reality. But if we do, when we do, there will be benefit. It will pay off, right? And Unfortunately, there are some things that have felt sad, have felt difficult. I do feel like there is this part of you that's going to need to tend to your heart on some level. Like I said, it doesn't feel like this is something that's completely coming out of left field, right? You kind of know this, girl with a snake at the bottom of the deck. You kind of know this, or you're expecting this, or you've had hints of this, and it's just everything culminating essentially. But it's also going to be very hard to see who and what did what. You know, that's never fun. It's never fun to kind of like come to grips with the people, the situations that are just no longer serving our highest and best, you know? So a little bit of a bleak energy. Sorry, I hope that the zodiacs are a little bit better. The individual readings stay posted, because we do have, Valentine's Day at the end of the week. We can focus on how to love, how to be accepting, understanding, compassionate, even if someone else sucks. Like sometimes we just can't, there's nothing we can do. It's the lesson, it's learning. We don't even understand. There's just so many different things that go into it, but it's for our own heart, our own mind, our own soul, when we're able to see the reality of kind of just how we got bamboozled, a little manipulated, etc., so that we can release those chains, right? The things, the people, the situations that we stay loyal to that maybe just don't really deserve that. So with that in mind, stay tuned. I'll try to get out some love readings this week. I'll do a full moon reading as well, and then along with all of the zodiac readings. So definitely touch base. I would love to see you back at the channel. Thank you so much for your time, energy, always, especially if you've made it this far in the reading. If it resonated with you, definitely drop comments below, or just reach out, say hey. I love to say hey back, share in a little love, little TLC. I so appreciate all the love and support that you bring to the channel. I am sending it back your way.